Hello everybody, this is Malavar TC1 coming at you with the ultimate player's guide for Star Ocean Anamnesis. We're going to answer some of your burning questions as well as a lot of tips to help you out in your Star Ocean Anamnesis gameplay. First off, what is Star Ocean Anamnesis? For those who do not know the Star Ocean franchise, Star Ocean Anamnesis is an all-stars game project to celebrate the 20 years of the Star Ocean series. The console games began releasing in 1996, and Star Ocean Anamnesis released in Japan version in December 2016, a few months after Star Ocean 5 was released. The global version released 1.5 years after the summer of 2018, as is in all Stars games. It's made in a way that you can enjoy playing with your Star Ocean heroes from the main game, so basically as long as you understand how the game works, you can play with whoever you want. You should always prioritize who you enjoy playing. Of course, there is a tier list for a game, but the characters are ranked based on certain criteria, and it's not absolute. Moving along. What are the rarities in the game? The game has several rarity types, going from the normal rare, aka 3-star characters, then the Earth rare, aka 4-star characters, and Galaxy rare characters, which would be the 5-star characters. In the Galaxy rare type, we have an Ace Galaxy rare and normal Galaxy rare. To recognize each type of rarity, here is a trick, aside from rating their stars, and number of course. When getting a 3-star character, you'll see that the area around the character is completely blue. When getting a 4-star character, the area around it is completely golden yellow. And when getting a 5-star character, the area is rainbow. Usually the 5-star character and the Ace 5-star characters are the only ones worth using. Here's the reason. Firstly, 3-star characters tend to be way weaker than the other characters in both stats and on the battlefield. They don't deal nearly as much damage as the others and can only do limit broken 3 times, which doesn't help them at all. They can be used for fun, but are not units meant to be your main unit. 4-star units are a bit better compared to 3-star units. It can be limit broken 5 times. However, their stats and damage output are really low compared to 5-star units. Same there, they are usually used for fun with friends and all. The 4-star characters are all secondary characters in the console Star Ocean series games, which is why some people like them. But why does Shimada have such a fan base in the first place? 5-star characters are, as I said, the only ones worth using. They can be limit broken up to 10 times, and get way better stats than the others to begin with. Also, they tend to have more and more useful talents than the others for a party you create. Their damage output is way higher, and unlike 3-star and 4-star characters, the 5-star are the heroes or the most important secondary characters of the main Star Ocean games. Moving along. What's the difference between an Ace character and a non-Ace character? The main difference is the cost of materials it takes to max them. Ace characters will cost you more leveling up materials, aka prisms, and twice the number of rarity materials such as orbs. Of course, their cost isn't higher for nothing. Ace characters tend to be way better than non-Ace characters, both in talents and on the battlefield. Let's move along. How do I make a good team? We can base that on talents. Before talking about that, let's talk about their talents and the talent stacking for a bit. So what are talents in the first place? To make it simple, talents are a set of number of abilities something or someone has in the game. The reason why I say it's something is because talents are not restricted characters, but are also present on weapons and accessories under the name of factors. Let's first check the weapons and accessories. The weapons and accessories of the game also have different rarities because of the 1 to 5-star. Basically, if it's not 5-star, it's completely useless. 5-star items have high stats and help your characters. Weapons have attacks and intelligence stats, such as ATK and INT, that indirectly add to your character's stats when equipped. Accessories have defense stats, such as DEF, that are also added directly to your character's stats when equipped. With that, they have a certain amount of abilities called factors. These have various effects and can also not make a full guide, so just going to have to work on the given situation because it would be way too long, and even I'm not sure how most of it works. But generally speaking, they are the abilities that help support your characters while fighting in different missions. The factors considered as most useful in the general are elements imbuing talents, element damage buffing talents, passive healing talents, and anti-racial weapons. Why? Because every boss you'll see in the game is weak to some certain element or race. Hit them with an attack or spell of that element or that weapon that boosts damage against the set race, and you'll deal extra damage, which helps a lot. Passive healing is always good in a battle game. With that said, make sure to check the factors of the equipment you put on the characters you are using in the missions to make sure it actually helps you out. Now that I've covered the equipments, let's talk about the characters. As the equipments have factors, characters have something called talents, which are various buffing and debuffing abilities that a character activates in battle. There are also types of talents, but sometimes you'll see some talents are selfish, only buff a certain character class, or are party-wide. What is that it means is that some characters' talents which will be activated during battle will only apply to themselves, and only the said class of characters, like attackers or invokers only, in your party or the entire party whatever the character is in. Talents are very useful in powering up your party, and sometimes decisive and certain battles are needed for a useful build team. The most useful talents are in general the stats buffing talents like attack, intelligence, defense, by a certain percentage. The damage buffing talents, damage by a certain percentage, an X percentage, and the anti-flinch talents are the most used. A character will not flinch unless it has a certain amount of percentage XP or less, which basically means that if your character won't be interrupted by the enemy's attacks if their damage equal or is under the percentage of your max HP. Also, some talents in certain characters are activated by a different amount of time, which can be set for building parties. There are 4 types of boost, which you can use in team building. Talents and factors that remain active as long as they are equipped. Talents that are activated in battle regardless of the equipment. Special talents that can be activated as a post-rush effect. Factors that can be activated by using battle skills. Now you could be wondering, if I've got a 2 damage buffer, will their damage buff stack together? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Here are the rules for talents and factors stacking in battle. Talents and factors that are activated when equipped stack together. For example, if your character buffs the attack by 20%, but that you have also equipped weapon and accessory buffs attack by 10%, the overall buffing effect the battle will only be 30%. Talents that are activated in battle and activated after rush do not stack together, regardless of whether a buff is selfish or party-wide. The highest buff will be the one that was activated in battle. For example, Nell has a critical chance buff of 10% talent for the entire party, and Anne has a critical chance buff of 30% talent for the entire party. If both are in the same party during the mission, only Anne's will be activated. You have a critical hit chance buff of 30% and not 40%. Factors that can be activated with special battle skills do not stack together. Only the highest value will be activated. For example, Fina's Bright Shower skill recovers 9 AP for the party, where Holiday Press's Sacred Lancer recovers 6 AP for the entire party. If those 2 characters use their spells at the same time, only Fina's AP recovery will be used. The party will get 9 AP back, and not 15. With that out of the way, on to the party building. I'll be talking about solo playing, but it's the same thing for multiplayer mode. The only difference is that in solo, you use 4 characters in the multiplayer and play with 3 random people. To make a team, you choose up to 3 characters and create a party with them. Characters of the same class tend to have the same buffing talents, and as they do not stack together, the best option should be to make your party with different types of characters. There are, of course, exceptions to this rule, but they are based on one character's talent and are pretty rare. You should build a team with various characters and talents that help one another in battle. Generally speaking, building a team with a main stat like attack or intelligence buffing character, an anti-flinch character, and a damage buffing character is an optimal choice for mission clearing, which often leaves you with an attacker or an invoker, a defender, and a sharpshooter party. But there are also healers in the game. Healers are extra insurance to help you during battles. They are also very useful with their talents, but sometimes putting a healer in the party means taking a spot away that could be used for better talents. Healers are very useful members, or very useful in optimized teams. Generally don't need healers since their damage is usually not that good, but their main mission is healing. Unless you're sure of your gaming skills, having a healer in your party is very useful. It all breaks down to the personal preferences, and don't forget you should always prioritize who you like playing. Even if it makes a full attacker, invoker, or defender team, even a full healer team, if you have the guts to do so, a dangerous party, which will require you a lot of skill. I know that was a long one, let's move on. How do I make my character stronger? Or strong? There are 3 main ways to make your character stronger: status enhancement, limit breaking, and augmentation. Status enhancement is basically leveling up your character by using what's called prisms. Limit breaking is just like it sounds, breaking the character's stat limit to make a stronger augmentation, and it will be covered below. To these three options, go to the characters menu, second button from the left, and the bottom of your screen, and choose what feature you want to use. To enhance a character's status, you can use the prisms to level up the characters or use special berries to give them a little bonus stat. To get prisms, you play the Enhance and Augment mission that is always available on the event page. There are many types of prisms of different colors and rainbow ones. If a prism matches the color of the character you're using, that character will get extra points. Note that using rainbow prisms will give extra points to every character that you use them on. To get berries, you can play the Frost Tree or Crystal Guardian events on the event pages or use the event coins to exchange them for extra berries. Okay, and moving on to how you can also use those different steps I had mentioned before. How to limit break a character and where to get the limit breaker stones. To limit break a character, go to the characters menu, second button from the left and on the bottom of the screen, then choose limit break. Select the characters you'll see with 3 different sizes of stones. You need to have at least 1 stone of a type to limit break your character. Where can you get the stone? You usually need to get the limit breaker stones from events. You can also get them from duplicates of maxing the same character. So if you go to the draw and you draw the character multiple times, you'll get multiple limit breaks for that character. Augmentation is another way to make your character strong along with limit breaking. Basically, augmenting is using a certain amount of materials. Depending on the rarity, it will cost a higher amount. Choose the character to make sure the character is max leveled. You won't be able to augment otherwise. The augmented character will go up to its rarity by a max level of 10. It will start back at level 1 though, so just keep that in mind. For example, 5-star characters will go up to 6-star, and 4-star will go up to 5-star. There's no 7-star at the current time. The material used to augment someone is called orbs. The type of orb you use for the character has to match the color of your character's class. The rarer the character is, the more orbs it will need to be augmented. You can find these materials in the Enhance and Augment mission on the events page and the special mission tickets you can get for various occasions. Okay, moving on to the last section. How free-to-play friendly is this game? So, Star Ocean Anamnesis is super free-to-play friendly. You'll get at least 1 or 2 multi-pulls per banner, meaning you'll get a lot of gems, login bonuses, challenges, friend gauge rewards, Maze of Tribulations, and it's still a gacha game, and there's still a chance you don't get who you want, even with a good amount of gems, considering the 5-star is a 6% rate, so you may not get everything with your gems. And if not, you have a bunch of limit breakers to work on characters you like and play, so you'll get other characters even if you're not working on them. Furthermore, the game is fairly generous with all different kinds of tickets, so even if you're not getting exactly who you want, you're going to get a lot of stuff otherwise. It gives tons of gems all the time. And 2 last questions, in case anybody's wondering about these. Stamps. Stamps are little pictures you get by completing achievements during events. They all have different text attached to them, allow players to communicate friendly in the game. Make sure you use them, especially in multiplayer mode. And if you're wondering where to get the event coins, there are 2 ways to use your event currency. Either through the coin exchange, where you can get a set number of coins by buying an item in the event shop. You can do that through the item shop exchange or shop and exchange your farm coins. There's also event draws where you use a certain amount of coins to get random items from an event box. You can do that with the draws in the event banner and choose event box if you're interested in it. So these are all the answers to many questions people have about Star Ocean Anamnesis. If you'd like to see more guides on Star Ocean Anamnesis as well as banner pulls, go check out my playlist. The link will be in the description. Also join our Facebook group. The link will be in the description. A big shout out to Leo, who is super helpful. He's another moderator like I am in our Facebook group, and he really laid this all out. He watches my videos, but he's also super helpful and will answer a lot of questions, especially if you talk to him on the Facebook group. Very helpful. I'll try to answer what I can as a moderator, but please join the Facebook group. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. If you have questions that I can answer here, make sure to put them in the comments below, but most questions were answered with this. If there's anything that's unique, just let us know. For the full text of this guide, it's available in the Facebook group, so go check that out as well. Hope you guys like and subscribe. This has been Mal of RTC1. Thanks.